Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V series V's I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Apparently, 2.5 days. That's how long it takes my fingers to recover from a bad night of banging them up at work, so I can finally snap properly again. But anyway, folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, is there anybody there? Yes, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Mushroom Head shirt. Fucking love Mushroom Head, man. Been a big fan ever since my high school days. If you're unfamiliar with them, they are a sort of avant-garde metal band. You know, they've been considered new metal, industrial metal, any number of things. I got into them in my early high school days, like maybe freshman or sophomore year at the latest. And I got into them completely at random. Me and a cousin were out at fucking Circuit City of all places. And yeah, that was back in the days when, you know, they still, for one thing, sold CDs and, well, existed. Circuit City isn't around anymore. But they would actually have like little things, like little stations where it'd be like, hey, these are artists you might be into. And I went over there and I picked up an album from Mushroom Head and I picked up an album from a band called Chimera. And both were fucking winners. So I like Mushroom Head a bunch. I've seen them perform live a few times in my life. I actually have videos of some of those performances on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. And if nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction because I think they're a phenomenal band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, excuse me. I'm a bit out and about today. At the time I'm doing this, we're just a couple days away from New Year's. And I have a few little New Year's traditions of my own that I like to partake in. So I need to go out and get some groceries. And I decided to go over there and stop off at a little bit of a fancy grocery place. Place it happens to be, even though this isn't the name of it, but it's boom! It's this. It's a spicy salmon poke bowl from a place called Caputo's. And Caputo's is a super cool shop. They're like more of a sort of like an artisanal sort of supermarket brand. I've reviewed some of their stuff in the past. They have really good sandwiches. Like, just in general, they're a really cool place. And I don't know that I've ever had one of their poke bowls. So, sure, man. I'll say this. It's hefty. It is hefty. Better be. It cost me about $12. So, but let's go ahead, open this up, and let's just... There you go. There we go. Alright. And we got a little soy sauce packet. We're going to take that out. Ooh, they've actually got the ginger and the wasabi already in there. That's a risky move. Like, I'm cool with that, but, like, not everybody is. Let's, get a thing for the thing here. Get some chopsticks going. Kind of put it in like that. Get ourselves a nice, pretty picture. It looks like that, and we'll go, ha, 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 ha. And now, because it's a poke bowl, we got to go over there and mix it all up. Yeah, man, I love a poke bowl. I'm a big fan of sushi. This is the only part of doing poke bowl reviews that kind of sucks, because it does take a little bit to make the whole thing happen. And in the meantime, you folks are just sitting there like, what the hell is wrong with this loser? And it's like a lot of things, to be fair. You know, I'm this guy, but I'm trying. Oh, you could go over there and you could mix it in advance. Could have, didn't. Alright. Yeah, this is good. This is entertaining content. I was gonna say programming, but sure shit isn't a program. Alright, we'll kind of go with that for right now. Alright, and let's, we got the ginger. Yeah, that's one thing I will say. Not the biggest fan of, like, I mean, I like this stuff, but, like, I do think that should be, you know, like a little side packet or something like that. Alright, let's get in there. Get some stuff. I suppose you could pick it out, but Yeah. Definitely getting that wasabi in there. And of course, this point is I think a fairly well-known fact, but most wasabi that you get isn't actually wasabi. It's just, what's that stuff? Horseradish with, like food coloring in it. But it gives a similar sort of nasal burn. Yeah, this isn't half bad. The rice is nice and sticky. Got like some, I'm guessing avocado. Because poke bowls are weird, because like, yeah, I mean like, they're kind of sushi, but they're also kind of like not a Japanese thing exactly. Yeah, a little bit of avocado. And to be fair, you can get avocado in sushi too, just obviously not like the traditional stuff. But that's okay. I'm a big fan of, like, hey, I think you can have traditional stuff, and I think that you can, go over there and mix and match and blend and stuff, Food evolution and all that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've had better poke bowls in my life, but I'll also be honest and say I've had way worse. This one, because when you got a poke bowl, I mean, you want the rice to be able to hold together to do its thing so you can get nice big clumps of it. Oh, wow. That was, yeah. I just got like the whole thing of the wasabi. Oh, dear God. And that's why, folks, you go over there and mix this stuff together properly. And maybe don't review it on a YouTube show. Jesus, that was a whole lot. Okay, but yeah, it's fading out now. God damn. But yeah, that's nice. The ingredients themselves, it's not going to be as good as if it were like a freshly prepared poke bowl, which I've been fortunate enough to have had like ones made right in the restaurant at times, and they're super duper good. But it's still decent. The salmon flavor is nice. It's flavorful without being like overly fishy or anything. But again, it doesn't come through as nicely as like the freshly made prepared stuff right there. But no, I mean at the end of the day, like I'm not really comparing this against like a fresh poke bowl because it's just not fair. More or less, I'm kind of comparing it against other pre-made ones. And I like the cucumber. That's nice. It has a lot of textures, a lot of flavors, even without adding the soy sauce, which I will do afterwards. It's got a lot going for it. Like the flavors are actually nice and everything. Yeah, I mean it's, well, okay. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm gonna go with yes and yes. I think that, again, in this instance, I'm comparing it against other pre-made poke bowls. And in that regard, I would put it somewhere sort of like the upper middle. Like it's not outstanding or anything. It's not something that's going to actively stick with me. But you get a lot of it. The flavors are decent. I would say, if anything, it lacks a little personality. There's not, with the exception of that fucking horseradish that fucking hit me. The flavors are good, just maybe a little bit muted. Again, they're not going to compare against like the fresh stuff. But like overall, it's not a bad poke bowl. And like I do like a poke bowl, and sometimes, I'm not always going to be up for going out for like the proper stuff. So sometimes, yeah, it's nice to just go over there and get a pre-made one real quick. I still got other stuff I got to do, so I'm going to go over there and wolf this down and then go do that. So yeah, I do think I would get it again. It's pretty good overall. It's not outstanding or anything, but like, yeah, it's a nice effort. It's like a B-. And if I'm recommending it, I mean, if you've never had a poke bowl, I would recommend going out and getting like a proper poke bowl from a proper restaurant, because like the difference between that and this, I mean, it's, light years apart. That's having it fresh. It's a wonderful thing. But if, your options are limited, or maybe it's not your first time, you just want a Poke Bowl sort of casually, this absolutely works. You know, Again, it's not the best Poke Bowl I've ever had, and I've had Poke Bowls from other fresh markets that I personally felt were maybe, a little bit more razzle dazzle. But in terms of just what I'm getting here, it's nice. It's, tastes fresh enough and everything. Again, there's no funky taste to the fish or anything, it's tasty, so I would recommend it. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. You'll have yourselves a truly proper wasabi-tastic rest of your life. See, when I learned that again, that most wasabi isn't actual wasabi, it became the thing of like, well, have I ever had real wasabi? Maybe I'll do a video of that one day. Maybe. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever had a Poke Bowl before? And if so, what was your takeaway from it? Was it something you loved, something you hated? Do you just prefer normal sushi? Or, do you like it as, the nice kind of mixed up concoction that it is? Let me know. I'd be really interested to hear about it. But anyway,